So Sumant, how many years you been in Air India?
In India,
Yeah.
almost since the inception.
Oh, and Tarun, how about you?
Sir, I joined NAR India in 2013 at the
Really?
local chapter of Delhi, APP Delhi NCR. And I
Nice.
came on the
That
NAR
is
India
for quite
board
some.
in 2016. I came on the board in
Wow.
2016. Sorry,
Ram, you have
15
been in
end.
Air India
So 15 end November. Yeah.
I was actually a member till 2016. 2016 is when I joined the board, Sangeet bhai.
Wow. Ram, you've been in Air India for how many years?
So I've been right in the beginning when the entire team, the team from US led with Norman Finch, who was the US president that time of NAR.
Wow.
He had come with Ravi Verma ji and the other district, Naresh Malkani is one.
Naresh Malkani.
Yeah, you remember him from the
I
India.
remember the Pune,
Yeah, exactly.
and Indian properties.
They came to Mumbai, Pune, and Delhi. Unfortunately, I would say Mumbai didn't want to join at that point of time, but Delhi took the lead, Pune took the lead, and NAR as a body was formed 12 years back, and
Wow.
then area joined in. So we've been among the first few associations like Pune, Delhi to be a part of NAR, and I've been in the board earlier, 6-7 years back. I was there on the board, and this year also I'm thankful to area for sending me to the board this year. So my association with NAR India has been for at least 8 years actively, where last 3-4 years, in spite of me not being on the board, I was being called for doing trainings for associations all over this. Vinod Thakkar was heading the West Zone that point of time, and he made a bank of speakers and trainers. And today, we are very proud to say that he's made a bank of 98 trainers and speakers for NAR India. So you can look at the kind of talent that is there inside NAR India, and just like all the presidents give free hand for these talents to be nourished. So that's some unique opportunity. So luckily, thanks to all that, I got to visit close to 14 cities in the last 3 years.
Very nice. Super.
Meeting them. And Sumanji has given me the biggest responsibility of being the West Zone head. Earlier, West Zone was divided into two because of Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa. I, as the West Zone head, have 16 associations under me. That's the biggest number. So it's quite a task, yes, but the best part is learning from Gujarat, from Maharashtra and Goa, what are the different kind of transactions that happen, how a realtor from Mumbai differs in a realtor in Goa, going to Kolhapur, going to Pune. You get to see the entire variety of the way work things.
You will be traveling, Ram?
Sorry?
You will be traveling in the 3 states?
So I have been traveling a lot till February, in fact, till March. So in March, I was even in Bangalore. So I used to travel. Now everything happens digitally, as we say, like the Zoom. But yes, it's fun to travel, meet the association heads there, meet the members there, tell them what NAR India. See, what happens many times within the association, people don't realize the benefit that is flowing from the top of NAR India to equip themselves and empower themselves. So once we go there, we with the leadership of that association, when we organize this program, and I was lucky at few places, like I was in Indore, I was in Nagpur, where even Sumanji came, Tarun had also come. So when these associations arrange programs for educational and these kind of program, even the president and president-elect flow down from wherever they are, and we make it a event for the entire family of NAR India. So that's how collaboration takes place.
I have attended 2 conventions of NAR India, and it's absolutely like family. There is no two things about it.
So convention is like the marriage that happens every year in the NAR India family. So from one convention to another, we look forward to ki next shadi kab ho raha hai, humko kya kya taiyari karna hai. So it is one shadi where everyone doesn't need to be invited to work. There are 1,000 hands up already ke shadi mein humko kaam karna hai.
What energy level, yeah. When you kickstart the session, I remember we had the drums at one point of time, and then we had, I think last time, you danced into the auditorium, banquet, absolute high energy.
So I think we'll get started. Yes. We are at 1:54, and warm welcome to all my realtors friends, the developer community, and everyone else who's there. My name is Ram Prasad Padi. I'm from a company called Mumbai Properties. I'm based in Mumbai, and I am currently the West Zone head of NAR India. I am the past president of the Association of Real Estate Agents, Mumbai. Very proud to say that we are the oldest real estate association in the country. We are a 23-year-old association and still growing, and we have 360 members. Thankful to the body of area which sent me to NAR India, and thanks to Sumanji, the president of NAR India, who designated me as a West Zone head. Warm welcome to all of you. Let me introduce all the three panelists we have today. First, I would like to introduce Sumant Reddy. Sumant Reddy is the current president of the National Association of Realtors India, and he is a realtor based in Hyderabad. And Sumant, let me start by asking you something very close to my heart, and then I'll introduce let me introduce Tarun Bhatia as well. Tarun Bhatia is a realtor from Delhi. He is the president-elect of NAR India, who will be taking over as the president next year. And his company is called Shalu Agency. He's been in the business for more than 25 years now. I have Sangeet Hemant Kumar, the founder, the co-founder of Knowledge Forum, a real estate entrepreneur with more than 30 years of experience. And for someone who thought of this Times Fest online when all of us are hit by a pandemic, this is a wonderful idea. So a warm welcome to all the panelists. Sumant, I will come first to you. That in this era of direct marketing by developers to the consumers, what do you think is a true role of a realtor when all these things are happening directly? Where does a true realtor stand?
Thank you, Rambai, for the wonderful introduction. And let me say that, direct marketing from the developers have been happening for a very long time. It's not the first time actually it's happening. So there are developers who work with the channel partners. There are developers who don't work with the channel partners. But see, at the end of the day, what happens, especially when it comes to the customer, a developer at any point of time is more interested in selling his own inventory. Okay, so a good realtor need not sell a particular project. So he has options. He has the choice. He's basically giving you options based on the need of the consumer. So he has all the information that is not available for probably a regular customer, because as we are there in the market, so we know actually exactly what is happening with the financials of a particular developer. So what is happening with a particular locality, how the trends are changing. So there's a lot of information that is being exchanged between realtors, which actually can help the customer when he is making a decision, which is one of the most important decisions of his life. Because real estate is a product which is very aspirational in nature, something which people dream of. Okay, especially when it comes to the residential properties. Now, if you're not informed, if you see the effort of a consumer, he at least invests about 10 to 15 years, either to save the money or to pay back the loans. Now, in this kind of situation, you just can't go by a person actually, or some developer who is just advertising on multiple other platforms. So we have seen it multiple times. I mean, there were times actually where some of the developers have gone aggressively advertising in the market, and when you have seen the product, there was no product there. Because sometimes advertising can be misleading, okay? But information can never be misleading. A full-time professional, especially a broker who is investing his time, doesn't want to lose out on his opportunity just for the sake of one transaction. Yes, there are a lot of, in India, we have a situation where everybody calls himself a broker. Till yesterday, till a couple of years ago, everybody and anybody could be selling real estate. Insurance agents were selling real estate. Okay, so stock brokers were selling real estate, mutual funds guys were selling real estate. Everybody was selling real estate in the past. Now with RARA in place, now at least it has put some check, but it doesn't mean actually everything is absolutely, I mean, fine and fantastic out here. So with RARA also in place, so there are secondary transactions, not just a primary transaction that take place. And probably once you buy the property, probably when you want to sell again, the developer will not be helping you resell the property. It's the broker who helps you resell again. So when you want to lease it out, I mean, it's the broker who does it. Now, what is happening with the transaction? It is a relationship that is being established. So it is a trust that is being established. So once there's a trust factor, right? So once you know that actually you have a relationship with some individual, and the relationship goes a long way. So this is where actually the experience and expertise of a realtor is going to add a lot of value for a consumer, not just in a transaction. It goes the transaction goes beyond it. So direct marketing, a realtor does that, does marketing, developer does marketing. It doesn't make every one of us is actually marketing to sell our products. But the realtor is the one who can advise you, who has the convenience of advising you.
Thank you, Sumanji. One thing I would also want you to say as a president of a national level association, why is it imperative for a consumer to work with a realtor? Why should a consumer really work? So yes, in the digital marketing, direct marketing, everything, but what is the value that a realtor is getting to the consumer? And why would you advise a consumer that even if he gets up on the morning, on a Sunday morning, he gets 10 paper ads, full jacket ads and things like that. There are portals out there. There are aggressive, disruptors out there. Why should consumers work with a real estate company?
See, real estate broker, agent, realtor is a professional. Okay, good. So a professional. Now you talk of a legal opinion. Okay, so everybody understands the basic fundamentals of especially an expert. Okay, in real estate, probably an investor, a seasoned investor may also understand. But at the end of the day, again, you go to a lawyer. Similarly, a real estate broker is also the same. And I always believe that an expert is the one who makes too many mistakes in a narrow field. Okay, a realtor is not a perfectionist. Okay, so you may not be a perfectionist. We make mistakes. Every one of us makes mistakes without our knowledge. Even a consumer makes mistakes, developers makes mistake, everybody makes a mistake, or even government at times makes mistakes. What is important is learning from the mistakes. Now, what does a realtor do in the market? So he's not just searching for the property. So he does things actually which goes beyond just actually looking for a property. Now, now that as we are interacting now, so I learned from you. Okay, you share your experiences with your client. Okay, on how he fared well or where he failed. Now, those experiences are going to help me in actually passing it on to my customer. So probably my customer would have gone through a better experience. That experience is going to help me in actually finding better ways to support my customer. See, on one side you have the information, okay, which is more direct. Now on the other side you have the expertise which comes out of experience. These two things actually are going to support, okay, and most importantly, at least I would not say a pull through from an advice, but definitely to a larger extent it can eliminate all the anomalies actually in a transaction. That's one. Second thing is, now people today, now there's a saying in the market where people talk of location. Now location comes at a premium. Now you want value. Now there is an investor and there is also an end user. Now when as a realtor, if you ask me, if you are coming to me for an end user requirement, I would be preferring a location because convenience matters there. Now, if you're coming for an investment, I would not pitch in for a location because there's a premium added to that. So there's no value there. So I would definitely go to my to the sources where I can get the probably an exclusive information which could add value to the investment made. So as I told you earlier, right? The realtor is not just here actually to facilitate, connect people. Okay, gone are the days where you connect people. Now the technology platforms are only connecting people, but the experience can never be substituted by technology, because all this artificial intelligence and all of this. I just share one of my experience with you, which I had with the CEO of a top property portal a couple of years ago. He was talking about artificial intelligence. He was talking about all of these things. So so suddenly I asked him, see, in a particular locality, if I list a property below this price, their portal is not allowing me to list the property. He says that actually our algorithm doesn't allow you to actually put that price. So now their algorithm is based on the average price band that is actually put in there. Now there can be a old property, okay, there could be a distress asset which somebody wants to sell. Now your portal doesn't permit me to actually even list the property there. What kind of artificial intelligence are you talking about? Sometimes the markets can crash, sometimes the market can jump. Okay. Now your algorithm actually is based on an average of a particular time frame. Now our algorithm is not based on the average of a particular time frame. Our algorithm is based on today, because you know the market today. You don't wait for 3 months to decide actually what is going to happen in the future. Because based on, and most importantly, what people have to also understand is we interact with customers every day. A customer feedback is what actually drives us. Now, how do you come to a conclusion that the market is good or bad? Based on the a number of inquiries you generate, based on the feedback actually you get, okay, on based on the number of sales actually developer does. So all this is dynamic, okay, it happens in a day. So we have the information, okay, comprehensively, and most importantly, I would say more than anybody else, our data is more accurate because it is real time. So there is when you have a real time data, right? I mean, when a consumer comes in, you know exactly what is happening in the market. You know which developer is doing good. Okay, so financially, see, some projects can be great, but the developer may not be back financially. So the great project actually is not delivered, the customer is losing. So there are multiple factors a realtor can bring into the transaction or just advising a consumer. Yeah.
Thanks, Suman. One key takeaway from what you said is, a consumer should learn from the 10,000 mistakes that the other consumers made rather than making any more mistake, because that is where the learnings that we transfer. So I have been working with a lot of realtors across the country. I'm very happy to say this community is more than sharing, in its attitude to work. So whatever they learn as mistakes from others, they share it with consumers. I think consumers will benefit big. Let me quickly come to Tarun. Tarun, you've been in the industry for more than 25 years now, and we've seen how things have changed after March for all of us. I think this has happened to practically every industry, and I would say real estate is a big hit because it is the most expensive purchase a consumer ever makes in his life. Sometimes it is only a one-time purchase, and in very rare case, it's a two-time purchase. So how does the modern day realtor adapt to the new norms and not just survive but flourish?
Thank you, Ram. Very interesting question, but it has a long answer. So I hope you'll allow me the time to, So basically, this pandemic has given us an opportunity, to take a relook at our lives and our businesses. Especially in Delhi NCR, since about the mid of March till about end of May, we were just at home in a lockdown, and only in June we started going out. So it gave us enough time. I'm sure throughout the country it was. So therefore, we must try and create best from a bad situation. And as the world changes, we must adapt and we must be agile and nimble. That's how we'll be survive. So I'll say let's start by writing a business plan. Most realtors that I know will not. They don't have a business plan. They just go day by day. So writing a business plan may seem a daunting task, as there are so many moving parts to it and so many concepts to address. But take it one step at a time and be sure to, schedule a regular review. So in case you have a business plan that you need to sell this much inventory or lease out this much area, so you have a plan to it, how you're gonna get the team for that, how you're gonna market it, and then have reviews, regular reviews for that, whether quarterly, semi-annually, or annually of your plan, and be sure you are on track to meet your goals. So business plan is very important. Please write that down. Then code of ethics. Ensure that you and your team follow the strict code of ethics so that consumers are served and the client's best interests are taken care of. In India, for too long, the customer has been sidelined. Our businesses exist because of them. And it's high time we give them transparent transactions and the best services, which are best in the world. If you ever do a transaction abroad, you'll realize how different the level of services they offer, the realtors there. I think we need to upgrade our services and be more transparent and honest on our transactions. Then third is embrace technology. A lot of times people, they just shy away from technology, but this lockdown has, taught us that it's a way most of the companies have had normal operations during this lockdown. And we thought that for the first couple of months, we are at home, so no transactions can happen, can take place. So technology continues to transform the way real estate professionals conduct business and connect with clients. We can go all mobile and forego the traditional 10 to 7 working environment entirely. Normally, earlier, between 10 and 7, we used to work. Beyond that, we were not available. But now all that has changed. Use drones for photographing a property and even show a home to a client anywhere in the world through a virtual home tour. All that was not, most of us are still not doing all this. And in order to provide the best possible service to clients, it's important that we stay up to date on all the new and emerging trends. Otherwise, uh, if you are not up to date, you'll not be able to serve your customers well. Then marketing. So, just by having a Facebook or LinkedIn account, marketing is not done. It's just not about promoting your listings everywhere on every possible platform. I see Facebook people are listing, I have a house. LinkedIn, they'll just put a listing. Marketing is as much about telling your own story as a real estate professional as it is about selling a property. The consumer, as you just rightly said, and someone just mentioned earlier, that it is the biggest decision of one's life. So customers wants to know who you are and whether you are the right person to guide them through what is likely the biggest purchase of their lives. So your logo, your photograph, your social media profile, your business card, your website, and testimonials all work together to project your value statement to consumers. Learn how to sell more than a house. Get prospects to understand your story as a professional too, which incidentally, Ram, you do very, very well. Kudos to you for that. Then one more theme which I am really passionate about is international real estate. That's why maybe someone made me the chairman of the Foreign Affairs in NAR India. So global real estate opportunities are everywhere. People move to India and from India to various countries like the US, Singapore, Middle East. I know so many parents whose kids are studying in the US and then they have bought an apartment for them there or invested in real estate there through EB5. And a lot many Indians look to purchase even in cities in Middle East also. Like Dubai is such a big market for Indians. So no matter which audience you cater to, there's immense opportunities in international real estate. We at NAR India can connect you to a network of qualified realtors and also provide education to help you work with international clients so that you are able to do business internationally. Then collaboration. uh, I think that is the biggest asset what we realtors have. Developers hardly collaborate. They only come together to market maybe their industry. But for transactions, we really can collaborate. Collaborate with fellow realtors, whether intercity or intra-city. There is tremendous potential. In Delhi, we have APB Delhi NCR, which is the NAR India chapter, one of the NAR India chapters at Delhi. Hundreds of crores of business happens between our members every year. Similarly, a lot of transactions are taking place between NAR India members throughout the country. The other day on the RICS platform, I heard you saying that you have done 8 transactions on your trip to Goa. So just imagine the kind of potential when you can transact with 45 cities in this country. Uh, and one more thing is increase business verticals. In case you are a specialist in only one vertical and now you are facing an issue, maybe say retail or commercial office, you can always expand that. At NAR India, there are so many mentors who can help you do that. So in case your retail segment is saturated, you can look at new verticals like industrial warehousing logistics. The other day, NAR India had a program where Amit Damodar Chuk and Shiva Kumar spoke about industrial real estate. It was such a fabulous learning opportunity. Those who are only in the commercial offices can look at residential real estate. Those who are only in residential can look at industrial commercial. Those who don't do land can do land. So there are so many verticals where you can start in case you are struggling in one particular one. Then the last, but not the least, professional development. Realtors can advance their proficiency, their marketability, and their career through a host of resources, especially offered by NAR India. Earning professional designations and certifications will add to the skills and knowledge. So our collaboration with institutes like RICS, ISB, NICMAR offer courses that will enhance one's knowledge and skill sets. Ram, me and you both are on the RICS course. What great learning we are, despite I am having 28 years of experience, you have having more than 2 decades. Just imagine the kind of learning we are doing. So at NAR India, we are providing that platform to our realtor members, and that is such a must to do. So in short, resolve, resilience. Before this, you were talking about resilience in the inaugural session where Jakshay Shahji was talking about resilience. So the same thing lies with realtors. Be resilient, return to business, reimagine your business, and reform your business. I think I've taken too much time. Thank you.
Arun, thank you so much. Those are wonderful, things that came from you. I think you've been sitting in Delhi and trying to read my mind, where you actually answered half of my next question. And I would, Sangeet, like to take 2 minutes to elaborate on something that Tarun said. Tarun has been very active and instrumental in driving a partnership between NAR India and RICS. RICS is one of the most acknowledged educational forum across the world, and people with RICS designation. So your previous distinguished panelist, Dr. Arshul Savla, is also an RICS. Having an MRICS is a big thing. It's like a chartered accountant or that kind of thing. So Tarun actually got worked 1 year for doing a collaboration, and for the first time, RICS designed a course only for real estate consultant tuned to today's market.
Wow.
I would say fortunately the pandemic came, because if it was not for the pandemic, not all of us had, because these courses were to be done offline in classroom session in location like Mumbai and all, and where people would have to travel from Ahmedabad. But because of the pandemic, it became an online. And trust me, 50 guys, 50 top realtors from the country every Thursday and Friday in the evening attend RICS course. Not only attend diligently, do the homework that is supposed to be done next week, number one. And as Tarun said, he has 25 years of experience. So Tarun, I am on the same board. I am technically celebrating my 25th year of real estate this year after my MBA. And if you count my post-MBA day, pre-MBA, this is my 33rd year. Trust me, I have never learned so much as I did in the last 4 months sitting in my RICS class. The most important, we don't know where the IPCs have a edge over us, but it is only learning and education is what I realize. Most of us say we fall short of land valuations. We don't know to value a land. But thanks to my RICS close, I'm happy to share this, Tarun, on this forum that just 2 weeks back, one of the big MNC company gave us an exclusive mandate to sell a land parcel inside the heart of the city, preferring us over an IPC. And this I was able to do when I was able to apply the techniques that we learned in the 12th session of valuation. And I was able to give a valuation very close to what they had in the mind. And it was very scientifically done thanks to all my notes, and I took help. So this is some practical course that we have been, and it's been a wonderful time learning. So Tarun, my second question.
Ram,
yes, sir.
no, Ram, before that, I think the catalyst is Sumant, because it was his brainchild.
Yes, absolutely.
To collaborate with RICS. He just gave me the responsibility, but actually the entire thought behind this was Sumant. So I think kudos to Sumant to
sorry,
have such a.
I see it's a collective effort. Okay, see, I think first the credit has to go to Sam.
Yeah.
Okay, unfortunately, we couldn't take it forward in the Delhi convention. Sam was the one actually who tried to get things moving. We had an MOU then, so I just actually have renewed the MOA which we had with them, and thanks to Tarun Bhai, we have RICS on board.
Fantastic.
Thank you. And so to all my other distinguished attendees today, our second session, second batch of RICS is starting very soon. We already got few names. So for people who are not doing it right now, my earnest request is don't even think about it. Just jump in right and start doing. All you need to invest is 4 hours to 5 hours every week, and that too evening after your office hours at 6:30. But I will tell you, you meet us after 6 months, you will be a changed individual, have done 5 more transactions because you were a part of RICS. So Tarun, coming to become, you are a president-elect, but I can also see that you're working hand in hand with the current president, that we almost think there are 2 presidents working right now. Do you think real estate associations are the answers to all the problems that a real estate consultant is facing today?
So Ram, the answer to your question is no. There is no single solution which will be an answer to all your problems. There are multiple solutions to everyone's problem. But yes, for the realtor community, a strong and a robust, association like NAR India is really the answer to a lot of their problems. So what is the problem? First is, people don't treat us with respect because of the past deeds of some members. So NAR India follows a strong code of ethics. I don't think you will come across many instances where you will find that the NAR India member has, mis-sold or maybe broken someone's trust while transacting. Similarly, business networking. Now, I would have not known you or, for that matter, Sumant, But because of NAR India, we all know each other. We have become like family because of NAR. Now tomorrow, if you have a transaction, if I have a transaction in Mumbai for hundreds of crores, I can just give you the lead. I don't even have to think twice about it. If I need land in Hyderabad, I just note whom to call, and they will do it. I don't have to, be. I don't have to find a new person to do it. So business and networking between NAR India members is fabulous. There have already been collaborations which have been formalized, who are doing such wonderfully well at the national level. Secondly, then thirdly, marketing and brand awareness. We go all out to market our members. Most developers know NAR India. So once you go to a developer office, you say NAR India member, automatically the respect enhances. Um, Education, we are doing so much about education. As you just spoke about RICS, similarly, work is on way with NICMAR and with ISB. IIRE, Sumant has taken over now for IIRE. Very shortly, you will see a lot of courses coming from the IIRE stable for our members and even for non-members. A little while back, Harshul was talking about why don't we become SROs with RERA to educate the non-NAR India members also. Already a lot of work has happened on that. You have spearheaded that with Kalpesh Bhai and Shiva. I'm sure, we'll see something happening very soon on that as well. Research report and data. As Sumant said earlier, we have the pulse of the market. Very recently, Sumant and Samir, gave the responsibility to Swapnil to come out with our first research report. Swapnil, incidentally, is again from Mumbai, a smart member, and he's actually very smart. Uh, and what a fabulous research report we took out. First, I think from a realtor body, an association, a non-profit association body. And when we circulated it in the US, they were so happy with such a research report that this is, world-class report which you have taken out. So, and that is, so this will be a regular feature from NAR India. Political advocacy. You're aware we are on the panel of the RERA panel by the central government Ministry of Housing. Whenever they have their whenever they had their physical meetings, we were part of that. Now virtual meeting. Last meeting when happened, our chairman Ravi Verma was there on that, where we are batting for the industry, for not only for realtors but even for developers. So we are the ones who take your grievances to the government. At the moment, Sumant is really working on one nation, one license. Hopefully that will become a reality soon. Today in Delhi NCR, I have to take RERA membership of UP, of Delhi, of Haryana, of Rajasthan. I have to pay 10 lakhs a license fee, file my returns and all at 4 different places. If one nation, one license comes in, it will be so much easier for us to work throughout the country. So NAR India is again, playing on the front foot for that. Then events. In this lockdown, I think we would have done not less than 100 educational events. Now, some people may find it very boring, but I always feel there is always something to take back from every event. When we get specialized speakers, even if you can take back one thing from that, I think it is time well invested. So NAR India is not the answer to all your problems, but yes, it's an answer to a lot of your problems. At least something कुछ आपको भी करना पड़ेगा अपनी तरफ से to really succeed. But we are behind you, we are in front of you, and it has to be a two-way process. Even we need more numbers to join us so that our voice becomes more credible. Thank you.
Thanks, Tarun. Yes, credible voice of realtors. That's what NAR India is all about. And yes, the city level associations really, I would say, give wings for realtors to fly, provided you take it in a positive manner and you go to the association not only with an attitude to receive, but also an attitude to give. Because I know only one thing: givers always gain in the long run. So coming to you, Sangeet Kumar, you've been in the industry longer than I have been. You've seen the ups and downs. You've seen Teji, Mandi. You've seen Barish. You've seen Dhoop, Garmi. Tell me, what do you think are the synergies between the developer and realtors in the post-RERA regime? RERA aane ke baad, what do you think should be the synergies? It's been 3 years now, but I still see a lot of disconnect between realtors and developer. The reason is many of the realtors always keep complaining about the shabby treatment that the developers give them, about the fees that they have to do. See, ultimately, everyone is here in the market to do business and earn money, So how do you see the synergies and what would be your advice to everyone?
Well, taking a cue from the morning session which we had, एक चीज तो क्लियर हो गई है कि रियल एस्टेट एज अ बिजनेस, एज अ प्रोफेशन इज चेंजिंग. सो राइट फ्रॉम हाउ अ प्रॉपर्टी इज बॉट to how a finished product is sold is going through a big change right now. What is happening is we got to try to understand that it's going to be, few years back, Lodha started this concept of channel partners, correct? Because Lodha was constructing the highest number of apartments in Bombay, and he realized that for the products, for his residences and offices, he wanted to create a nice channel and a distribution channel. And that's why he termed them as channel partners. That is how real estate is now going to be going. You're going to be constructing and you're going to be distributing. Now, for distributing real estate, and now we're talking about branded developers and products and the Godreges of the world, even though there is direct marketing, we spoke about digital marketing and direct to the consumer marketing, the channel partner, the realtor, the broker, the consultant is going to be playing a very important part in connecting the developer's product to the consumer. With the pandemic and with 3 years, 4 years of the kind of turmoil as an industry we are going through because of various tsunamis, we had the GST problem, we had the Notebandi, and then we now have the pandemic, and RERA itself created a big change in the way real estate was conducted. What is now going to be happening in the future is that the channel partner is going to be playing a very, very instrumental role. The developer is going to keep a control on the cost, does not want to increase his marketing cost, does not want to increase his HR cost, and he rather invest into a channel partner, into the channel. So according to me, the synergy between a developer and a channel partner and a broker is going to be of utmost importance. Having said that, looking at NAR India, looking at the kind of panelists we have here, we as channel partners, as brokers, need to be upskilling ourselves. We need to empower ourselves. We need to be updating ourselves. And if this happens, I can see a fantastic synergy between the developer. May it be a branded developer, may it be a small developer operating out of Juhu or Vile Parle or any part of Hyderabad or any part of Delhi. So there's going to be definite synergy, and we absolutely look forward for platforms like NAR India, platforms like Knowledge Forum, which Ram and I have founded, that we need to empower the brokers, educate the brokers, give them, upskill them, and the synergy between a developer and a channel partner is here to stay, and it's going to get stronger day by day. Thank you, Ram. I hope I answered the question.
Thanks for enlightening us with this synergy. I think the only way forward for the community as a whole is to collaborate. So just as Tarun spoke of collaboration on a state level, city level, national level, and international level, for them to refer cross-border business, these kind of collaboration between developers and realtors, and they should not think, and they are really not thinking about us as competition, but collaborators. And you're right, many small-time developers have good projects, but they need not invest into in-house marketing and sales. And if they, so, we always tell the builders, you do what you are best at, that is make buildings, leave the selling to the realtors. And yes, pick up the right realtor group or realtor. So Tarun ji and Sumant, I would like to tell you that, thanks to efforts that NAR Indian Association take, we have now seen a lot of cross border business happening. A lot of developers are giving mandates to a group of realtors, who have already proven their mettle, and they don't get into directly marketing. And these group of marketers are finding association as the best platform to promote their products. And we've seen a lot of business like this happen in the area, at least that's where I'm a member. Sangeet, my other question to you today is, what kind of investments does a realtor need to make today to take his business to the next level and again flourish?
Well, very interesting question, Ram. People have this misconception कि रियल एस्टेट एजेंट बनने के लिए कोई इन्वेस्टमेंट की जरूरत नहीं है. सबसे बड़ा इन्वेस्टमेंट जो हमारा है वो है टाइम. तो पहली बात तो ये है कि वी एज कंसल्टेंट्स, एज रियल्टर्स, एज ब्रोकर्स नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड वैल्यू आवर ओन टाइम. हम लोगों को क्लाइंट की रिक्वायरमेंट समझनी चाहिए, क्लाइंट की क्या उसकी जरूरत है वो समझनी चाहिए, Similarly, from the inventory perspective, from supply perspective, we need to actually understand. We should have access to market intelligence, access to all kind of data, because it's all available right now. We're going to a digital and a technology spin-off right now. So everything is available to us. We need to upskill ourselves. We need to train ourselves to use all these various data and the various knowledge which is available, so that we can take an informed decision ourselves. आपके पास फोन आता है कि मेरे को एक 4 बेडरूम का फ्लैट बेचना है, आप उसके ऊपर काम शुरू कर देते हो? नहीं, आप पहले देखो उसकी प्राइसिंग करेक्ट है कि नहीं, इट्स द राइट प्रोडक्ट, whether it's a primary market or a secondary market. We need to value our own time. So please do the research, please understand, see the demand, see whether you can sell the product, and if you can only sell the product, take the responsibility of that product. Similarly, understand the demand, understand what the client requirement is. वो बोलता है मेरे को 2 बेडरूम का फ्लैट चाहिए, मेरा इतना बजट है. अगर वो बजट ही गलत है तो आप अपना टाइम वेस्ट कर रहे हो. तो फर्स्ट इज टाइम, सेकंड इज नॉलेज. Please get yourself updated. You know, when we just spoke earlier, Ram, you were talking about the IPCs. The biggest difference between a structured, organized broker and a broker who is, or consultant who is not that organized, is basically the structure itself, the information and the education and the knowledge. And uske upar, they are giving them the best services and solutions. जो तरुण ने भी हमको आज बताया. तो हमें हमारा टाइम मैनेज ठीक से करना चाहिए, राइट जगह पे काम करना चाहिए. वी शुड हैव कंप्लीट नॉलेज. We should keep ourselves updated. These are all are important things for us to understand and to incorporate into our daily lives. Digital marketing. Ram, you have been already promoting digital marketing. Again, in the first session we spoke about, we are going through digital. Everything is getting virtual. That's how we have this idea of the online home buying. It is never too late to learn. I am very impressed by Tarun and Ram when you told, I made a note of the RICS. You know, हमें पढ़ाई के ऊपर, एजुकेशन के ऊपर थोड़ा और स्ट्रेस देना चाहिए. आप बिजनेस नेटवर्किंग की बात कर रहे हैं, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट इज देयर, बट यू नो यू हैव टू बी एजुकेटेड इनफ टू आल्सो नेटवर्क. बिकॉज जो पुराने जमाने में पुराने रेस्टोरेंट्स के अंदर लोग बैठ के अपना धंधा करते थे, वो जमाना अभी पूरा चेंज हो गया है. Knowledge is important. We got to get ourselves into the a mindset needs to be changed. Yes, we need to be upgraded. You know, when there are seminars and there are various kind of online courses, हम brokers थोड़ा सा hesitate करते हैं कि यार कौन देगा 5,000 रुपया, कौन देगा 10,000 रुपया, कौन देगा 3,000 रुपया, क्योंकि ये सब चीज की हमने कभी कोई अहमियत रखी नहीं है. आज हमारे जो नए जनरेशन है, understand my friends, the new generation are coming with MBA degrees. We already have Ram. It's a very rare realtor with an MBA and with the law. But आज का जो नया breed है, वो पढ़ा लिखा breed आ रहा है. तो मैं बात कर रहा हूँ जो 25 साल, 28 साल, 30 साल पुराने वाले brokers हैं, अपने आप को upgrade करने का time आ गया है. लास्ट आपका जो एरिया ग्रुप का सेमिनार था, इट वाज स्केल अप. तो स्केल अप का टाइम आ गया है. पेंडेमिक ने हमें बता दिया कि हमारे क्या स्ट्रेंथ है और हमारे क्या वीकनेसेस है. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, डोंट कंपेयर. वी हैव 4 of us all with different backgrounds. If I start comparing myself with Ram, if I start comparing myself with Tarun, if I compare myself with Sumant, it's gone. मेरे खुद के क्या स्ट्रेंथ है, आपके खुद के क्या स्ट्रेंथ है, वो स्ट्रेंथ को एनालाइज करिए, उसके ऊपर काम करिए. और जो वीकनेसेस हैं, जो कमजोरियां हैं, अगर आपको लगता है कि आपके बिजनेस में वो इंपॉर्टेंट है, तो उसको प्लीज इंप्रूव करिए. दैट इज ऑल व्हाट इज रिक्वायर्ड. सुमंत,
I just like to add to what Sangeet ji just said. Just to inform all of you, I'm doing my second year law now. So as I said, it's never too late actually to study. So you can always do it. And one more thing actually I would like to add is that to what Sangeet ji just said is that I think we should learn to sell ourselves. So a broker, the problem with the local broker is, and the IPCs is, they are good at presenting themselves, then they're good at selling themselves. We have everything okay that is required actually to be a great professional, but we are good at selling a location, we're good at selling a developer, but we forget to sell ourselves. This is where actually they have an advantage. So I think, see, what people need to do is they need to start investing in themselves. They think that actually there's no need for investing in themselves. Actually, that image actually which you build for yourself is actually what is going to gain the customer's trust.
So, Sumant, I want to myself add over here. You know, in my 25 to 7 years of my career, जब मैंने पिछले 3-4 साल में I took more time on learning and educating myself. See, why is an IPC selling himself or herself? Because he has got all the information with him. हमारे पास information कम होती है या हमारे पास knowledge कम होती है, तो हम अपने आप को confidence नहीं आता है. अभी आप, if you are educated and if you have all the data with you, automatically you will get the confidence. Like how Ram was able to back that land mandate was because he had the data with him, he had the information with him, he had the knowledge with him, and he was able to back. That's the only difference.
Not only that, Sangeet bhai, I'll tell you, if you look at the top executives actually from each market, right? For example, Hyderabad has a director level employee and a MD level employee there. The two guys out there managing Hyderabad. If you look at the people actually below them, right, they are only good at actually selling themselves. They hardly understand anything about the market to begin with. They're ably backed by analysts. Okay, they have a data, okay, which is collected by a separate vertical, which is collected and presented to them so that they can go and actually present the same to the client.
Correct.
Now, this is, see, I think what we at NRA are trying to do now is we are trying to iron out, okay, the gaps. We are working on a structure where we are starting to work, see NRA as a company, like an IPC. Though we are, see, what we realized is, though we are not for a profit organization, but our members actually who are joined us are for profits only. Correct. So we're all members of NR India. At the end of the day, we all want business. Now, I think the perspective changes and the structure is brought in. Now, say for example, now Swapnil has come up with a fantastic research report. Now that report actually will help us actually in going and reaching out to people. Now we have a document at least which can counter a narrative actually which is established by few IPCs now. Now as we start collecting the data, we can counter, because the IPCs, if you look at them, right, so they, more or less the data is more or less the same. The 4 data, so a marginal variation of about 5% here and there. They have the data. God knows where they collect the data. Okay, from where, with a limited number of group. So they are able to gather all the information which they claim, and something which even government is not able to claim, because government has all the data with them, but still government has no clue as what is happening in the market. But these IPs are doing it because there's nobody who could challenge their data. And now actually NR India is slowly moving towards a direction which actually is going to get probably the most accurate information. We cannot say 100% accurate information, probably somewhere close to the actual reality of the market. And once you know, then that's when actually you can start counter, and that's when you start influencing people. So, and these things can happen only when we, all of us together, as Tarun earlier said, and Ram said, it is not just about taking, it's all about giving. Now, I'm a member of NR India, Tarun is a member of NR India, Ram is a member of NR. We were just members at some point of time. We have become leaders over a period of time. So now the ones actually who are probably participating today, at some point of time could be the leaders of NR India who will be sharing their point of views out on here. So it's basically, the collaboration is not just about taking, the collaboration is about giving and taking. So once people start contributing, okay, automatically they'll start actually getting everything they need, and then we collectively are the ones who are going to be succeeding in the long run.
Yes, thank you, Suman, for your input, and very well said, Sangeet. First thing is, we as realtors need to invest in ourselves. We need to believe that we are much bigger than we really think we are. Just to put things into perspective, last 2 years, I have been investing in the data that these companies sell. And, every time we give advice to our sellers and landlord on what should be the rental that they should quote or the price they should, it comes out of hardcore research data that is available to us at a fingertip, few mouse clicks here and there, and I can tell my client what are the last 15 transactions done in BKC and what is the pricing that the deals have taken. And trust me, I can't name names right now because of the NDA that we have with corporates. we were able to do 2 transactions solely out of the CMA, comparative market analysis, that we were able to give to unreasonable landlords saying, "Boss, this is not the rental going on while you think." So when they come with data, they are more amenable to listen to you, number one. Number two, they start trusting you. So I think one really good investment that a guy who's into good commercial transaction, even residential has data now available thanks to 3 companies that are there. I think this is one investment I would say that people should make, to your point. Coming to you, Sumanji, under your leadership in the last 1 year, I have heard you being very vocal about disruptors in the market. At the same time, a lot of brokers keep complaining about the disruptors and keep asking most of the associations that what is the association doing about the disruptor? What is the government doing about the disruptors in the business? We all have to understand that this is a free economy. Everyone has a right to coexist and do business, So what is your view on the disruptors in the business for real estate consultant, and how would you say that a realtor can make themselves much higher than these disruptors to not only do business, but gain a lot of credibility and make a big name for themselves?
Rambai, see, there's a difference, as I told you earlier, right? So there's a difference between artificial intelligence and real-time intelligence. Okay, there's no replacement for a human mind. Okay, the day a human mind is replaced, right, I don't think we will even exist. So a broker actually is the one actually who applies his mind. Okay, the disruptors can do whatever they want. See, at the most, what they can do is they can just actually become an interface of connecting people. Okay, they can't be an interface of actually influencing people through knowledge or something like that, because the information again has to be put in by the a person actually who is using it. Now, for instance, you take magicbricks.com or 99acres.com, for instance. Whatever data they have accumulated is through the information loaded by the seller, uploaded by the seller or the broker or the developer or the buyers, basically. So the information is not something which they have collected on their own. Okay, information is coming from people again. Now, all these people are only fighting to create an interface create an interface between the buyer and the seller. They are not trying. They don't have the ability or the information to go and influence the customer or influence them on the decision making. Finally, at the end of the day, it's the people who are sitting and negotiating. So forget about the broker. If they're directly interacting with the developer, again, they have to go and negotiate with the developer's executive or developer, okay, and do the transaction. So it's again the human interface that can't be changed. Okay. Now, what is happening here is the broker, in the normal circumstances, the broker is doing on the customer's behalf. Now, you tell me, see, as a customer obviously is going to be having his own interest. The developer is obviously is going to have his own interest. Now, most of the times, as we are all aware, when it comes to transactions, more than the price, it's basically the personalities that are responsible for disturbance in the transaction. So the personality, the one actually who is bridging those personalities, okay, is understanding and ensuring that, okay, the transaction takes place, negotiation takes place smoothly, is a broker to begin with. And all this can happen only when the buyer or the seller trusts you. Okay, and when will he trust? When he will trust you only when he sees the capability in you. It could be information, knowledge, okay, experience, expertise, whatever it may be. So unless and until the person trusts you as a professional, he would not be coming and working with you. And once market sees you as a professional, right, no technology, nothing ever, okay, can take the broker away from the market. And coming to the disruptors, see what is happening. There's a phenomena that is taking shape all over the world. People have suddenly developed some especially the investment bankers are looking at exploring some new opportunities. So they're investing heavily into different verticals, and the funding is coming into multiple ideas. So assuming that out of 100, if even one is successful, that okay, the monies will be multiplied. So there's a lot of money coming into the market now. So that's the reason new ideas have been people have been investing. Now, housing.com once was making sound all over the country. Where is Rahul Yadav now? He was saying, I will eliminate the broker. I will take the broker out of the market, and he's working for a broker now. He's a CTO of Anarock. What is Anarock? Anarock again is a broking firm. Now, see, this is what happens. Now, people can talk of things, but the reality cannot be changed. Okay, see, people, now even you could look at politics also. We see in the news that some guy has brokered between two different parties. Now, what is brokering? Basically, facilitating, advising, guiding. Okay, this will never change as long as humans are existing. But for us to sustain, we need to, as Tarun Bhai and Sangeet Bhai earlier said, have the skill. Okay, enhance your abilities to sustain all these disruptions. And let me tell you, the company which has been promoting technology across the world, the catalyst for technology across the world has been US. Okay, most of the new disruptions that have come into the market have started in US. Now in US, you have 1.6 million members in NAR. What could these disruptors do there? They tried doing it. Okay, they did their part, but still the realtor has emerged strong. And if we all actually upskill yourselves, okay, understand the paradigm shift that is taking shape here in the market, I think we'll emerge stronger. These disruptors are helping us become better. So rather than actually feeling bad about it, I think we should feel sorry for their investors who are assuming that actually their investment will be multiplied on these disruptors. Okay, so at the end of the day, it's the realtor who will emerge, a professional. See, my mother used to tell me, people can take away money from you, but they can't take knowledge away from you. The knowledge you have will forever stay with you. No, as long as you have that knowledge with you, you cannot be replaced by any technology, any person in this world.
So Ram, I want to add here, we've been, this debate is going on for a long time now. No brokers. We are in a free economy. Whoever the promoter of No Broker is, or promoter of any tech platform, he has the right to do business the way he wants. That does not mean we don't have the right to do the business we want. What is the biggest difference is, which we all need to understand, and I want all my broker friends to understand, that हमको अपने आप को तैयार करना है जो change है. We cannot deny that there is no change. There is change happening. Technology is going to play an important role. इसका ये मतलब नहीं जो पुराने किस्म के ब्रोकर हैं वो काम नहीं करेंगे, वो भी काम कर रहे हैं, बिकॉज उनके पुराने काम करने के तरीके के पुराने किस्म के बायर्स भी हैं, जिनके पास लैपटॉप नहीं, जिनके पास आईफोन नहीं है. न्यू टाइम एंड द न्यू वे ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस. सो वी नीड टू एम्ब्रेस चेंज. जो तरुण ने पहले बताया, तरुण ने जो 4-5 पॉइंट्स बताए, हम जो 5 पॉइंट्स के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, that together is important. And all this learning, all education and learning how to cope up with this change is equal to our strength more in a tech platform. As simple as that. But we need to learn, we need to be ready for change. अगर आप change नहीं करोगे तो you are wiped out. Then either technology will wipe you out or the new age broker will wipe you out.
Yes.
Ramai, just before we get into something, the next thing, right? There's a saying in Telugu, but I'd like to translate in English, okay?
Surely.
पहले तेलुगु में बोलो क्या है?
नहीं, समझ में, probably I don't think actually people will understand that, okay? The very important saying, which says that don't disrupt, okay? If you try to disrupt, right, you'll only be disrupted. That's a moral of that saying. Okay, one who is trying to disrupt, right, will be disrupted at some point of time. Do good, actually. See, you'll always, good things will come to you. And the word disruptor itself is say, what does the disruptor say? Disruption is all about actually something which is good. Okay, you're trying to disrupt. So let them disrupt. Okay, we are strong enough. We're good enough. Good people will always survive. And I don't think we should really worry about it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So thank you so much for this thing. I have been very, encouraged by you. Whenever you speak about disruptor, it gives me extra energy to, become stronger than the disruptor. And see, every disruptor, I think there is a learning in what they get to the industry. They thought of something, they thought of a need gap which was there, which we being in the industry did not look at, but it is time to learn from them instead of, and I wouldn't say coexist, but learn from what disruption is getting you and put that in your business plan. So Tarun ji's idea, I picked up business plan, banao, abhi tak nahi bana, 25 saal se dhanda kar rahe, abhi business plan banao. So put that. Tarun, I did my management in 93, 95 from Wellinger and started this business. And the first thing when people to see my business card is, "Are MBA karke ye dhande mein kyun aaya tum?" That was the kind of thing people look down upon business. It is then, it is now as well. But now what is happening is, when I talk to CEO and CXO level and I give my visiting card with the management degree, with the RICS degree and everything else and realtor, is they are happy that they are in safe hands. So what I have seen over a period of years, my son is 23 now, is just getting into the industry and all. I've seen a lot of youngsters now wanting to come into the industry, and this is now pehle jaisa, it's not an untouchable industry. It is not only money making, but it makes you a kind of rock star businessman or an entrepreneur. So we have a lot of openings coming up in real estate. Many, it's like NMIMS in Mumbai does a 3-year MBA in real estate. RICS has a course in M&T University. I think one is in Delhi and one is in Pune. So many of youngsters coming in, and I'm here. I'm sure many realtors here have now kids who are of the age. What will be your advice to all this new generation coming into real estate?
That's a very interesting question, Ram. First of all, I'll say they are a bit luckier than when we started out, because when we started out, this industry was so closed. Nobody was willing to speak to you. They were all the cards were close to your chest. Now today you have a platform where 3 or 4 idiots are giving all their secrets away for the rest to compete with us. Well, that is how, things have changed, and we are proud of that because we want this industry to flourish. So, but unfortunately, what is happening is a great many new real estate agents, they never make it through their first 2 years. Uh, because maybe they have high expectations, or maybe they feel it's a piece of cake. It is neither. Some underestimate expenses and overestimate income. That's a deadly combination. Others rely too much on old industry advice. That is not as valid in real estate world as it was maybe 10 years back when there was no internet. Now it's an internet driven world. So knowing when to follow conventional wisdom and when to pursue new tactics, that will help one create a successful real estate practice from the beginning of your career. So in case there are new people who are coming into this industry, they should have a mix of both. They should learn from the conventional practices, plus they should look at the new technology also. Secondly, the biggest mistake we do is we always focus on selling. So I advise my team members, don't focus on selling. So while knowing good sales tactics is beneficial for real estate agents, but you don't always need to make a hard sell. In fact, there are many times when separating yourself from the stereotype of a pushy real estate agent can help your career. So early in your career, excellent photography skills and the ability to write compelling descriptions about the property that you have, uh, that can be such a big asset. When we started out, we were not aware of all this, but today if someone has good photography skills and he can write a good write up about that property and then put it on the various listing platforms, I can think he can do wonderfully well. So, and even if you are starving for a deal, maybe you have just entered, you don't have a deal in hand, but think of yourself as a consultant rather than a salesperson for better results. And you also want to focus on your soft skills, including people skills. Now, Sumant has great people skills. I mean, there's so much to learn from him because he can motivate people to work, go all out, take out time from their busy schedule and still contribute to NAR India. Self-motivation. You need to keep motivating yourself, and problem solving. You need to have that, ability to solve a problem. Whenever in a real estate transaction, there are so many ego clashes. Sometimes you need to resolve that. So all that you need to learn. So these are some top, abilities that a real estate agent should have. Secondly, think like a small business. So even if, say, Mumbai Properties hires some new graduates, they should think as if this company is their own company. So one is that Ram will make them feel comfortable. Secondly, they also need to feel that Mumbai Properties belongs to them. So like majority of our agents are all independent contractors. So succeeding as an independent contractor and being in control of your growth means, as we discussed in our RICS session, there is some salary, there is some incentive. So your growth is in your own hands. So you need to think like a small business rather than as an employee. So invest in relationships, work towards long-term goals, and learn what you can about marketing. So from the beginning of your career, create a business that is portable, flexible, and able to move and grow with you. Suppose you have grown, your business has not grown, again, that's an issue. And you will be much more able to weather changes in the market than someone who isn't thinking like a business owner. So always think like a small business owner. As I said earlier, develop a business plan. Where do you see yourself 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line? Write it down somewhere, work towards it. I mean, things will not happen automatically. Tomorrow, if I have to lose 10 kgs, which most people tell me, I need to make a plan for that. I can't just lose it like that. So develop a business plan. When you are thinking like a business owner, your long-term success depends on many things. A good business, a good beginner's business plan is one of the most important. And don't let your enthusiasm for getting a client right away keep you from important business organizing and planning tasks. Take time to understand your market and customers. Like Sangeet ji just said, if you get a property, just don't go start selling it. Understand what do you have, what are the market dynamics, is the price being quoted correct, what can you enhance in that property to sell it better. Develop the right tools and skills to ensure your business grows. Those who are the international members of NAR US, they have this right tools right now campaign going on. Just look at the tools what they're offering to their members. So learn on that and educate yourself on any important skill that you currently lack. One second. And while you're growing your prospect base, think beyond just getting your first client and have a concrete plan for how you will grow your business. So in case you're working on a lead, keep expanding your lead base. Then have a budget. Many early career real estate agents focus on immediate successes, like getting the first client or making the first sale. But while they are making these early milestones happen, they don't keep their spending in check. They will just go and change their wardrobes. They'll go all designer, assuming that will impress clients. They'll go get the best car in town, so to impress their client. What they don't know is, as Suman said, it is the knowledge which matters. It is the way you treat your customers that matters. How you do a transaction that matters. So keep a check on your budget. It can be tempting to spend whatever it takes to jumpstart your career, but you will be in business for longer if you keep an eye, on the cash flow. So these are my some inputs to someone who's starting out in this industry.
I would say wonderful input. I'm sure all the
Very
participants
nice.
here would agree that other than the new generation coming in, a lot of your inputs is also useful to people like us who've been in the industry for a long time.
मेरा गाड़ी का cancel कर दिया मैंने. I was buying a new car, cancel.
Sangeet will now be hiring a new general manager, marketing and sales very soon. So,
Very
Sangeet,
but Ram, at the same time, when I'm interviewing people, what quality of talent is coming into the industry? I'm so proud,
Yeah.
especially to institutes like RICS. So I've interviewed 2 of their recent graduates. My God, what knowledge they have on valuation. They need to be polished, but the kind of entry level talent what we are getting is fabulous. So
Fantastic.
we are heading for some बहुत अच्छे दिन, I feel.
I agree with you.
yes, absolutely. Tarun, अच्छे दिन already real estate में आ गए, especially in the case of talent pool. Yes, we've been doing a lot of interviews, and I am actually amazed at the kind of knowledge that they are bringing to the table, and the kind
Mindset.
mindset and efforts. See what is happening. What is my experience with current realtor is, most of us have become complacent कि हम तो 25 साल से धंधे में हमको सब आता है. But when this new talent is coming in, they are bringing some new dimension we have never thought. So it's a great thing that we are doing. Sangeet,
Yes.
coming to the last question of the day with you.
Sure.
You've been in the industry for so many years, and last 5 years I have seen you emerge as a PR and branding specialist only with the real estate industry. What is your advice to realtors on how to do branding and PR in today's time, especially?
So very important what Sumant was saying, the big difference is we are not selling ourselves. So when we talk about branding, we talk about marketing, again, I will just, all has been said earlier, I'll just wrap it up. Even Tarun has said the same thing. It's your business card, it is your social media handle, it is your content. It's not that we don't know how to write content. We don't want to take the effort to write content. All the Anuj Puris of the world, they take time out. ठीक है, अभी अनुज के पास उसका असिस्टेंट होगा उसको लिखने के लिए, लेकिन फिर भी उसको जब बोलना है तो पढ़ना तो पड़ेगा, तभी तो बोलेगा ना वो. अभी आज तरुण ने इतना बोला है. Why was he able to speak so much? Not that he was born intelligent, but because he is the president-elect of NAR India, he's holding a responsibility, he's holding a designation, he has to keep himself updated, and that is the reason why he is able to share his knowledge. It's as simple as that. So that is the basic funda right now from a marketing and a branding and a PR perspective, learn to sell yourself, keep yourself educated. Content writing, thoda likha karo, LinkedIn pe jaake likho. You know, this last pandemic, you invested time in various workshops. I invested time in improving my writing skills because I love writing, and I went on LinkedIn. I am now touching 10,000 followers, connection rather. I was surprised when one post of mine got 50,000 views or whatever it's called. That's because I kept on improving my content. And what Tarun said earlier in the earlier part of the discussion, that don't just keep posting your properties. कोई नहीं देखता है. आप अच्छा कंटेंट बनाओ, कंटेंट लिखो. अच्छा, आपको मैं एक बहुत सिंपल चीज बताता हूँ. अगर सुमंत ने कोई सोशल मीडिया पे, चाहे फेसबुक हो चाहे लिंक्डइन पे, उसने अगर पोस्ट किया और मैं उसको जवाब देता हूँ, तो मेरे को जवाब देने के टाइम में सोचना पड़ेगा कि मैं क्या जवाब दूं. तो जब आप जवाब देते हो, आप रिप्लाई करते हो, तो भी आप सीखते हो. So learning is always when you create content, when you are replying to Tarun's message or to Ram's message or to Suman's message, you have to respond. You have to understand what to write back. So that's all. It's very simple. कोई rocket science. सबसे पहली बात तो है, real estate itself is not rocket science. बहुत simple business है, बहुत simple profession है. आज हम चारों यहाँ पे सूट पहन के आए हैं, चारों कोट पहन के आए. ये किसी को दिखाने के लिए नहीं, क्योंकि अपने को अच्छा लग रहा है. आज सुमंत को अच्छा लग रहा है, राम को अच्छा लग रहा है, मेरे को अच्छा लग रहा है. मैं टाई पहनने वाला था, लेकिन पेंडेमिक में मेरा थोड़ा वजन बढ़ गया है, तो आई एम नॉट एबल टू टाई द टाई. दैट्स व्हाई आई एम विदाउट माय टाई. दिस इज जोक अपार्ट. So it's very simple, boss. Invest in yourself, invest in your dressing style, be educated, upskill yourself, do some content writing, and very small thing, hobby. जैसे राम के पास हॉबी है, उसकी मोटर बाइक है. आई समटाइम आई फील जेलस, यू नो, कि ये क्या क्या करता है. गार्डनिंग भी करता है, ये मोटर बाइकिंग भी करता है, एंड मोटर बाइक भी कौन सा, एकदम जबरदस्त 15 लाख रुपए 20 लाख रुपए वाला बाइक. तो कहने का मतलब क्या है, इन्वेस्ट इन योरसेल्फ गाइस. बहुत अच्छा टाइम है, और जितना गैप बढ़ेगा, यू नो, डोंट गेट वरीड अबाउट द एनालॉग्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, बिकॉज एनालॉग्स विल कीप ऑन इंप्रूविंग, दे विल कीप ऑन ग्रोइंग. देयर इज गोइंग टू क्रिएट मोर गैप्स इन द मार्केट. It is the best time for us. Be a part of an association, be a part of an education program, keep yourself updated, keep yourself fit. I look at Sumant, I said कि यार अभी मेरे को मेरा वजन कम करना है, थोड़ा मेरे को फिट होना है. Ram, I'm not telling you anything, it's only for me. So be fit यार, you know. बहुत अच्छा दिन आ रहे हैं, अगले 6 महीना 1 साल के अंदर मार्केट विल पिक अप. अभी ऑलरेडी करंट अच्छा है. 6 महीना और 1 साल के बाद जो ब्रोकर, जो कंसल्टेंट फिट रहा और एकदम अपने आप को उसने ट्रेन करके रखा, सिस्टम्स, प्रोसेस, जैसे अभी तरुण भाई ने बताया कि हायरिंग पीपल विद RICS बैकग्राउंड. इट इज द बेस्ट बिजनेस, इट इज द बेस्ट प्रोफेशन टू बी इन. नेक्स्ट 5 years we all are going to earn money which we have not earned in the last 25 years. That is what is my own target. जो मैंने 25 साल में नहीं कमाया है, अगले 5 साल में कमाने वाला हूं. And that is all. Just keep yourself into the business, keep yourself updated. अपना खुद का PR करो, खुद का मार्केटिंग करो. जो तरुण भाई ने बोला, सुमन भाई ने बोला, don't just sell houses. घर सब बेच रहे हैं, अपने आप को बेचो, अपने आप को अच्छा करो, and I am sure we all are going to make good amount of money. And again, last thing, you will start enjoying your own business. Real estate is to be enjoyed. Real estate to be enjoyed. Otherwise, it's a stressful business. क्योंकि आपका टोकन भी वापस आ जाता है, आपको कभी ब्रोकरेज भी नहीं मिलती है. और आप जैसे तरुण भाई ने बोला, बहुत सारे लोग 100 करोड़ का डील किया, 1 करोड़ रुपए आने वाला, गाड़ी खरीद ली 70 लाख की, डील कैंसिल हो गई, गाड़ी अपने गले में पड़ी अभी. तो कहने का मतलब क्या है, ये शोबाजी का बिजनेस है. आराम से काम करो, अच्छा काम करो, और अपना नाम करो गाइस. आई एम सो हैप्पी to be a part of this panel where I have learned so much from Sumant, from Tarun, and from Ram. And my biggest learning and my biggest takeaway from today's session is to continue learning and to continue being educated. I think that is the biggest learning of today's session. And I would love, in the next few years, I'll be a little bit over age, if there is no bar of age, to be a part of NAR India. It's my internal and my real desire.
Thank you, Sangeet, and that was a great sum up. as we come to the end of this lovely panel discussion that we had, I would like to summarize what were my learnings here. My learning was every realtor needs to make a business plan. He needs to stick to a code of ethics. He or she has to embrace technology, differentiate between effective marketing via storytelling, get into international real estate. Even if you don't have a connection, ask us all four, we will give you international connection. Do collaboration within the city, outside the city, all over the country.
Very good.
Try and develop new business vertical, which you never thought was possible. Do collaboration with them. And very important, invest yourself in your professional development on a continuous, consistent basis year on year. You will command respect when you are members of your local city association. Always treat education as a very important point to grow and not money. Money is never your barometer. The knowledge that you have and the knowledge that you that helps people is your true worth in the business. Get access to research, even if it costs you a bit of a money. Make a group and get research to access. There's a lot of synergy between yourself and your fellow realtors and the developer community. Go and make those synergies into positive collaboration. Upscale yourself to use this data and knowledge and work against the disruptors, but also learn from the disruptors. What are they doing differently? Always marry conventions with technology, and don't be a salesman, be a consultant in the true sense. Even if you're a one-man show, 10-man show, or a 100-man show, behave like a corporate because you are a corporate, you're not a one-man show. These are the few learnings I had from these gathering sessions.
Very good.
And we would be happy to take, if any members here, we have attendees, if any one of you would like to pose some questions to any of us, we'll be happy to take questions. Dharmen Thakkar ji, I can see you there. Jitendra Shah, Narayanan, Prakash Janyani, Shailesh Baheti, Shamvyas, any question you all guys would like?
Ram, there's a question I think which Sumant Bhai can answer.
Yeah.
I'm reading a question out here. How do the grievance cell at NAR provide support to their members? What approach a member should have? Should I repeat the question? How do the grievance cell at NAR, India nahi likha, but I understand.
Yeah.
How do the grievance cell at NAR India provide support to their members? What approach a member should have?
Now there are multiple kinds of grievances, Sangeet Bhai here. So I don't know. I would like to actually get more clarity on the grievance. Now, for example, there could be grievance between two people. Okay, so there could be an issue between two
Members.
Okay, so that in India that's absolutely in India's control. We can definitely be talking to the concerned associations or the members, okay, to get things actually moving. But now when it comes to the grievances outside of NAR India, okay, we don't have any control on the same. So what we've been recommending to people is, we've been talking of, certain protocols to be followed during the transaction. And in fact, Tarun Bhai earlier during the lockdown, so when we had the webinars, he shared a lot of, insights on how you can protect your client or a transaction by following the processes. So we are definitely here actually to support the members, because we as an association cannot be going and fighting against a developer or any other person, because we can't take law into our hands. So, but definitely we can definitely establish a connect. Okay, so for example, a developer doesn't pay the fee on time, definitely NAR India through its local association can reach out to the developers, okay, or probably through the national connect, we can definitely reach the forums, okay, update, just take the issue forward. And definitely we can try, but we can't enforce because we can't be taking law into our hands.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Thank you, Sumant. I would just like to add here, Sangeet ji, normally because of the protocols, this association are really formed. Every city association has an in-house grievance committee headed by a senior chairperson. Area has it, Smart has it. You name the association, even Hyderabad, Delhi, everyone has it. So there, what happens is local realtors, your members. So I would want to give an example of area where one of the area member was not paid fees by a very top realtor in Mumbai, and the amount was about 20 lakh rupees. He approached after 1 year when he approached us to the grievance committee. He had all the facts with him. So the very important thing for realtor is Please keep records of all transaction with your email, WhatsApp, written record. People say brokerage is not covered by the government, but we are all wrong. They are covered by the Indian Contract Act, and there are many other acts which protect your brokerage. The problem is we are not diligent in keeping record. He bought all the records. We spoke to the developer through one of our member who was not a committee member, but a member who was very close to the developer. 5 of us went and met that developer and said that these kind of practices will prevent other brokers from working. And it's a small amount to pay for his reputation to be at stake. This developer accepted that there was financial cash flow in his organization issues, but his front-end salesperson did not address it properly. He gave us a payment plan that he will pay this realtor in the next 1 year at quarterly 4 equal installment. And the good news was in 7 months, he was paid the entire amount.
Very good.
So this mediation is important, but yes, members have to be careful while they are doing business, so that is a very important point. And so this is one we have taken. Is there anything else? Yes, Pankaj Singh asking us how you can join the RICS weekly course. I'll let Tarun answer that.
So Pankaj, I'm sure you are an NAR India member. So once you are a member, you can easily join this course. The second batch is about to start. I'll request you to reach out to our general manager, Ms. Ekta Jain. I think the ID is gm@narindia.com, or you can reach out to either me or Ram or Sumant or Samir or anyone, and we'll get you connected. The next batch, we are just getting the the volunteers, and I think post Diwali, we'll start with the next batch. This course is about 4 modules. There are 4 different semesters in this with 3 subjects each. It's a year-long course. And I think, as Ram has already said a number of times, it is a fabulous investment in your own development. And there is so much to learn, not only from the RICS professors, but once all these NAR India members, when they talk about their experiences, like in the last class, I'll just give an example. They gave us 3 problems which were supposed to be solved. So Ram had a different take on it. Someone else had a different take on it. You learn so much from each other's learnings and experiences. It is invaluable. It can't be put into money. So please reach out to any of us or to our manager, general manager Ekta ji, and she'll help you out with that.
Yes, so I can't stop myself from adding every time RICS comes into the picture. Guys, this is one of the best MBA you can ever do, sitting at home or office in 4 to 5 hours per week. I think even if you pay 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs and go to the IMs, you will not pick up what you're going to pick up at the RICS course. It is that much of value because every professor there comes with a minimum of 20 years of experience in their respective field. I always used to think I talk so well, mujhe communication ke bare mein sab pata hai. But when the communication expert taught us for 6 sessions, humko pata chala ki humko to bahut kuch nahi aata hai. So guys and girls, please invest into RICS. You all will thank Tarun and Suman and me and even Sangeet 6 months down the line when you will say that I have done 2 new deals only because RIS taught us this. So that is the value. Please do reach out anyone who would like to know about it. And I think there are no more questions, sir. And I take this opportunity to thank Sumant Reddy, President of NAR India, Tarun Bhatia, President-elect of NAR India, Sangeet Kumar, co-founder of Knowledge Forum. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I hope all of us had a beautiful time here because I learned so much from all of you. Thank you.
Many sessions I have attended and been a part of.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sumant.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sumant and Tarun, for spending time and being a part of this panel.
Thank you. Thank you, Sangeet bhai. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
The 3-week-long fest which we are having. First time we are doing it, and God bless us all. Thank you very much.
All the best, Sangeet bhai, and thank you, Ram.
Best of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ram. God bless you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.